Hi, just a quick message to Oz Skate Marketplace. A huge thank you from Skateworks, from myself, John Burns, who's the Executive Director of Skateworks globally, and all of the people that are involved with the Skateworks project in all states of Australia. Guys, you have done an amazing job. $1,000 raised, $300 on top of that for posting all of the prizes out to people. Anything left over, as Benjamin said, will be coming across to us. That is hugely generous. Thank you very, very much. That makes an enormous difference, and I'll take you through some of that fairly quickly. So this is not a long video, but you get a bit more of a picture of who we are and what we do. Thank you very much to Benjamin Topperwing for running that raffle. He was looking at growing a few extra arms and legs to make that happen, but he did a great job. And the admins on Oz Skate Marketplace, thank you very much. That's great. That makes a huge difference. Just a very quick blurb about who Skateworks has been and is today. So we started off in Ethiopia 6 years ago. We aligned vocational training with skateboarding and the learning pathways of skateboarding that some people see the negatives within failure. Like in a third world country, you're up against unemployment, massive figures, those sorts of things. Well, skateboarding's negative is actually a positive, as you all know. We fall over, we get back up, we learn. We fall over, we get back up and learn. The learning process through falling is a positive. So failure becomes a positive, and that's highly usable when you connect it with training, because it can be done in a short space of time. So to cut to the quick, in Ethiopia we returned 2,631 Ethiopian youth from the streets living in endemic danger, highly marginalised youth, susceptible to drugs, prostitution, being shot, crime, a lot of impending danger. Returned home, vocational trade, so metal fabrication in this case, skateboard, mini ramp, their own welder. They were cleaning shoes on the street, so something that's approximately the same size is now earning 10 times the income. And usually up to one to two members of the household then go back on to scholastic education, which has a huge kick-on effect for the family back home. So in Australia, as Benjamin's told you, we're running school holiday program in the Northern Territory and in South Australia. Northern Territory is in June, July, school holidays, and in South Australia that will be in October. So 2 communities in South Australia and 7 in the Northern Territory. Along through the process of you guys digging deep and giving money and sending gear, we got a lot of used trucks. That's what we desperately needed. We get lots of boards, but we get very few trucks. We gained an alignment with Thieve Skate Trucks, which is fantastic. They not only donated, but they actually shipped 200 brand new trucks up to the Northern Territory and 80 brand new, that's sets, by the way, not individual trucks. So fair bit of coin involved in that. And 80 sets down to South Australia delivered. So we're estimating about $16,800 in retail for those set trucks. So that is absolutely huge. The great thing about that is that the trucks arrive to us, so therefore the trucks that you guys have donated, that then allows us to use that as a core bank in Queensland with Benjamin. So we can then collect more boards and wheels and whatnot, and we can then go on and do outreach project up to 5 communities in northern Queensland. We have an alignment with Chameleon Skateboards, and we would really like to see if Oz Skate Marketplace members would like to be involved in actually coming up to community, maybe put in a weekend, something like that, and help, teach some kids skate and just, I guess, take the the board swapping and the donation of used gear and that world that you've created that creates so much enjoyment for you all a little bit further. You can enjoy ours and we can enjoy yours. So it just goes a little bit further all around. Just to give you a bit of an idea, all the gear from Australia and from Sydney and from the Central Coast and Newcastle will come up to Tweed Heads. There's gear that's sitting in Tweed Heads that will then combine and go up to Brisbane. All that gear will then be shipped across to the Northern Territory and will combine with the Theve trucks that are there with Shane George, who's heading up Skateworks in Northern Territory. The 80 trucks that from Theve that went down to South Australia, all of the used stuff that's in Melbourne goes across to South Australia, and all of the Western Australian stuff that's being collected because of this overall push goes up to a project in Broome that has really come about just from the success of this collection of used gear this time around. PCYC, YMCA and Red Cross approached us and said, if you can send us X amount of gear, which we've decided is 30 completes and pads and helmets, which we will collect and that will go up there. They're already creating a groundswell, so they've got local students helping young Indigenous skaters one afternoon a week to build a bit of a following. That should only take maybe 6 to 8 weeks. And then they're able to go to local government and raise a little bit of funding and say, look what we're doing, look what the results that we're getting here in the local skate park. We'd like to have a bit of money to invite Skateworks up to teach our kids and introduce the balance program. So much has come from all of this. I'm just looking at my notes here about any other things I'd like to pass on. T-shirts are available. It's just like the Easter show. Buy the T-shirt. So I know Benjamin has shown you those. So that, and then the Recycle Fun one, which I know you've seen. Probably haven't seen the hoodie. That's the hoodie. That's the back. So T-shirts are $25 plus post, $45 plus post for the hoodies. We're all going into winter except you Queensland people. I'm in Melbourne, so it's certainly cold here or about to be. Anyway, this was just a quick thank you video. Hopefully I haven't taken too much of your time. Thank you very, very much. If anybody would like to know any more information or would just like to have a chat, then give us a bell and I look forward to talking to you all. Thanks very much, and another huge thank you to Oz Skate Marketplace. Thanks very much. Bye guys.